another Cooking with Cooper. Today we're going to show you how to make a nice, easy, and cheap romantic dinner. What we're going to be doing is a raspberry vinaigrette on spinach, nice, easy salad, and a calzone. A calzone is just like an inside-out pizza without tomato sauce in the middle. It's really good. Nice Italian theme going on. And then for the end, we're going to make a dessert called Italian ice. And you basically take lemon, or in this instance, the cheap off-brand of Kool-Aid, and make frozen popsicles almost. So we're going to get started. First thing we're going to do is the salad. Okay. All right, the first thing we're going to make is a nice appetizer. What I decided to go with was a spinach salad with vinaigrette on it. So you can find spinach at any store, any grocery store. This is from Walmart. It's a market side baby spinach. Really good stuff, organic. Vegetables, you know, they're organic anyway, so I don't really understand why that's on there. But it's good stuff. So you want your you want your spinach to be a dark green color like this. If you see any brown, definitely throw it away. And if it starts getting a little bit kind of a drier texture to it, that's not good either. So this is good fresh spinach, and also helps checking the expiration date. And then the sauce I have for it is a raspberry walnut vinaigrette. You can find it, like I said, at any grocery store usually. This one is Ken's Steakhouse Light Raspberry Walnut Vinaigrette. You can go with anything. Even a nice Italian sauce is good. So what we're going to do is just take some spinach and put it in the bowl. My salad tosser is missing at the moment, so we're just going to lay it in here nice and gentle and maybe look a little bit presentable. Just throw it in there like that. And then I like a lot of dressing on my salads, but I'm going to go light on this one. This is light for me. Alright, and then I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on it too. You can season to taste, but it helps bring out the taste of the salad dressing. And make sure, if you are superstitious, to throw any salt over your shoulder that gets spilled. Alright, that is the appetizer, and it'll be a great way to start off your dinner date. So here you go. This is what it looks like. Try to make it look like this, or even better if possible. I know it's going to be hard, but try. Alright. Next up is the calzone, and we'll show you how to make that in just a few seconds. Alright. The first step in making a good calzone is to make a buttery garlic sauce to go on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel this garlic so we can chop it up into little pieces to go in the pot. Excuse my sniffling, I have a slight cold. Oh, that was good. Alright. So after you get it peeled, they'll break off into little individual pieces like this. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to smash them with a knife so it gets a little bit easier to chop up. So you just do it like that. Be careful with sharp edges with a knife, you know, always watch out for that. This also helps get off the excess skin on the outside, in case you didn't get any off earlier when you were peeling it. It's a lot easier to do if you go get like a slap chopper or something from that crazy infomercial guy. Anyway, there you go. There's one of them peeled. And we will smash another one. Alright. And this is going to make your breath smell pretty bad afterwards, so you might want to bring some gum, guys, in case if you're looking to get a little smooching or something afterwards. All right. And smash this final piece. That extra skin off there. All right, now we're ready to chop them up. So we're gonna just chop them into little pieces. And always cut like this, so you don't cut open your fingers. Never go like that. That's Boy Scout 101. And cut away from your hands too. Don't cut towards them, which is what I'm doing. But don't follow my example completely. Right. It's usually better to do this on a cutting board too, but I'm a cheap college student who doesn't have a cutting board, so there you go. All right, and the sauce that we're making calls for about a clove of garlic, which is what I just did here, and 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to put it in this pot here. Just push your garlic into there. We're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. These are real helpful. Just helps you get the measurement you need. Let's see, 2 tablespoons right here. Right. And you'll just drop that in there. And we're going to put it on a medium heat. And you'll just start moving around the butter and the garlic, and you'll do that until the butter is completely melted and the garlic is a little bit brown. Okay. Right now we're working on the garlic sauce. If you've ever watched Epic Mealtime, this is when they would say stuff about tasty meat poop and all that stuff. But try to keep it a little bit classier here. Anyway. And you just go until all this butter is completely melted and you got a nice sauce. And we're not going to use this until close to the end, so you might want to leave this just stirring and going on a low heat, just so you can keep the butter melted and not sticking to the pot. So it's starting to get a little bit brown. That's when most of the juices are going to come out. And when it's done, it'll look something like this. And we're not going to pour it. We're going to use one of these little babies right here. You're just going to dip it in there and then brush lightly on the outside of the calzone. So this is done, and we're going to take it off this heat now and let it sit over here. And we're going to do the next step of the calzone right now. All right, now we're getting down to the business part of the calzone making. You can do either a dough recipe, which I have on the website, cookingwithcooper.tumblr.com. But right now we're going to use the simple and cheap way, which is with biscuits. So we're going to open these biscuits. And the frustrating thing about these is sometimes when you pull this off, they don't open. So you just do this. Here, let's do it right here. You whack it real hard and it pops open. It's a fun thing to do with somebody that's never opened one of these before, because if it works the right way and pops open when you pull off the label, it scares the crap out of them. My dad used to do that to me when we did this. And that's another thing. This is a really good thing to do with kids because it's really simple and a lot of fun to do. You just mash things together and it's lots of mess and just fun stuff. So for one calzone, you're going to need about 2 packages of these, which is about, I'd say about 15 ounces. And you just open it up, Didn't pop again, so we're gonna whack it. Good stress reliever too. And usually what I do is I coat my hands with flour so it doesn't stick like it's doing a little bit right now. But don't have an abundance of flour on me. This is sugar over here. So, all right, so you're gonna just knead the dough together until it forms a uniform shape. It doesn't have to be any specific shape, just a shape in general. I'm not one of those guys that says you have to make it into a ball or anything. But here you go. Just mash it together until all those lines separate and it's one uniform lump like this. And we do that so when you're flattening it out to make the crust for the calzone, it won't rip a bunch of holes in it. So we're going to take a rolling pin, one of these, and we're just going to roll it out like this. This works a lot better with a smaller rolling pin, depending on what size pan you're using. This is a pizza pan that my father, who used to work at a Pizza Hut, borrowed 25 years ago or so. But it's easiest to use a cake pan or something like that, because then it's flat and you can roll all over it and not have to worry about these edges around here. So we're just going to roll this out, and you want to get it a uniform thickness and roll it out as far as possible without breaking the dough so it'll cook faster. And try to roll it out in the shape of the pan too. It's easier to do that. Sometimes it's not cooperating, so you can pick it up like this. And you can go all Italian on it and try to pizza toss it. I'm not very good, so I just do like this. See, not much hand-eye coordination. That's why I'm a radio and television student, not a athlete. But not that athletes can't be radio and television students. Anyway, so just spread it out a little bit. And if you have flour, you also want to coat this with flour so it's easier to take on and off the pan. But you can also use cooking spray, which I'm going to use right now. That way it doesn't stick to the pan like it was a second ago. You're just going to try to roll it out as much as possible. And you can do this by hand this way too. Just get it as spread out as you possibly can. And it does tend to shrink back in on itself, so just do it until it's lost all resistance. As the Borg would say, resistance is futile. This takes a while, so what we're going to do is go into a time lapse so you don't have to watch me do all this. Alright, so now we've got it as close as I can get it spread out. So the next thing we're going to do is take some cheese. I like using Mexican cheese, but mozzarella is just as good and sometimes better, depending on your taste. So we're just going to take some of this and make sure you put it only on 1/2 of the calzone. Because what we're going to do is after I finish putting the ingredients on here, you're going to roll this other half that doesn't have ingredients onto this half and seal it. And that's what makes it a calzone, an inside-out pizza without tomato sauce. Now you got the cheese on there. You can use any toppings you want, vegetables like onions or zucchini, something like that. Or you can use any different meats like sausage, hamburger, pepperoni, bacon. Bacon's really good on anything. But today we're going to use turkey pepperoni. It's a little bit healthier option, and it's pretty cheap. So there you go. That is what a unfinished calzone looks like before you flip it. So here's the flip action. Get excited. It's pretty awesome. All right, and we're going to seal it like this. And I know it looks pretty ugly right now. They usually do it first. You're going to seal it like so. And then you can take a fork or something else and do what's called crimping. You do like this, and it's kind of like what you do to the outside of a pie crust to make it stay on the lip of the pie pan. Just do like this, and it's a good sealing action, makes it look a little bit cooler as well. And the last thing we're going to do is slice a little hole right here on the top. If I can do it. That lets, there we go, that lets out the steam while it's cooking so it bakes better. You don't want a lot of steam in your calzone. Alright, so now that we've got that, we're going to put our sauce on next. So it's going to be good. Alright, so we're going to take this little guy and dip it in the sauce and just plaster this with garlic sauce. Makes it taste awesome, and it makes it come out looking a little bit better too. It makes it a nice brown color, looks a little bit more professional, like it was done in a restaurant instead of in your oven for about $6. So there you go. Sauce is put on there. And that is how you make a calzone. We're going to heat the oven to 400. You should have actually already done this. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And stick it in there for whatever it says on the outside of the biscuit roll. That's usually the best indicator. That's usually an average between 10 to 12 minutes. So set your timers and just keep watching it. The best indicator is when the top of this gets kind of a light to medium brown. So here we go. We're going to put it in the oven. This is the finished product. This is what you want it to look like. Nice golden brown, cheese oozing out the side, not too puffed up, cooked all the way through. That, my friends, is a perfect calzone. So next thing we're going to do after the commercial break is Italian ices. Alright, the last thing we're making is, for dessert, Italian ices. So what we're going to need is 2 cups of boiling water, 2 cups of cold water, a box of Jell-O. It doesn't matter what flavor, but I went with strawberry. And you can do it with 1 single packet of Kool-Aid, but I did it out of this because it's cheaper to buy, and then this way I can make a whole bunch of Kool-Aid for later. So what we're going to do first is get 2 cups of water. Here's 1 cup. Let me put this on a high heat. We got to get this to a boil. Set that on there. We'll get another cup. Pour it in there. And let it get to a boil. And then we're going to add a thing of Jell-O mix to it, like so. And then some Kool-Aid, unsweetened. And you will get a spoon and stir until it dissolves. It's going to get a little bit thick, but that's all right. Just keep stirring. And then once it's completely dissolved, you're going to get another 2 cups of cold water this time, like so, and pour it in with the boiling. 1 and 2. Stir it some more. And then you will pour it into little paper cups about this big and put them in your freezer and just let them freeze. And there you go. Very nice. That is our last product. So I'm going to freeze these and we'll get you back to the finished product in a few seconds. Alright, now we've got our finished product. You see? Beautiful spread. Really good way to impress the ladies. And goes good with a white wine or a red wine, whatever you want to do. But since I'm A, cheap, and B, under the drinking age, got Welch's Sparkling instead. Still a great way to impress your dates. So here we go. 2011, good year. Good stuff. And there you have it. Great, cheap date food. This has been Cooking with Cooper. Tune in next time.